Hey there, Laura here from Get Organized HQ, and I am ready to do what I call a mental health cleaning of my home. And I wanted to take you along so you could see what this is in case you need to do this for yourself. And of course, I will explain what that means. So to get started, I am just going to take you on a little tour of the current state of my house. Lest anyone think that my house is always clean, it most certainly is not. Here's the current state of my house. You can see it's pretty untidy. There's like a lot of dishes and a lot of things. And the reason I call this a mental health cleaning is because when the house gets to this state, which does happen for a variety of reasons, I start to get very anxious. It's just not good for your mental health. It's just incredibly frustrating. I find myself being far more naturally irritable because I walk out of my bedroom and there's just all this stuff everywhere. I feel completely overwhelmed, and it is not good for my mental health or anyone who lives here. So we need to get it back under control. And that's why I call it a mental health cleaning, is because I kind of sometimes just have to, I call it stop the presses, just stop everything. And I mean, it's the middle of a work day. I probably should be working, but this takes priority because I cannot function well right now when I'm filming this. It's a Friday. We're about ready to go into the weekend where we're all here most of the time, and I want to set us up for success. In addition to that, this is often the case for me. It may not be the case for everyone else. This came about because I've been very sick recently. I have some chronic health issues, and sometimes they flare up. I was in a particularly bad flare. I am not completely better yet, but I'm improved. So I'm able to get up and clean. But here's what's really important. And this is for those of you either with chronic illness, or maybe you have like an infant you're caring for, or just a busy schedule or whatever, is that I make a list. I will share the checklist with you. You can download it down below if you want to use it for yourself. We go in a specific order, a similar order every time. And in addition to that, I work on one thing until it is complete, because we don't like this feeling of, okay, like I put a couple dishes away and then I grabbed a couple things and like nothing ever feels like it's done. So it's a little bit of priority order and logical order. We're going to work on it until that item is complete. Also, it does not need to be done continuously. I like it when I can set aside an hour or two or however long it takes and do the whole thing. However, with my health struggles in particular, sometimes I am not feeling up to working for 2 hours solid. So I will work as long as I can. Sometimes I will set the timer for 20 minutes. Sometimes I will just work as long as I can, and then I'll go lie down. And then when I get more energy, I come back out. But I'm basically working on the whole thing until it's done as I have energy. So I am not, working on this cleaning task and then going and doing a little bit of work and then going and doing something else. This is, any energy that I have is going to go to this until it's done, because it needs to happen. So that's basically what I mean by mental health cleaning. And maybe you have been in the same scenario. So hopefully this will help you to do the same. Now, before we get started, step one is a little strange. Get dressed. If you're not, especially if you're sick or something, and put on like athletic shoes so that you are in work mode. And even if I have to lie down in between, I will put the shoes back on every time. That signals to the brain I'm in work mode. A lot of times I'll put an apron on for washing dishes because I am terrible about getting water on myself when I do it. So I will do that and put my hair up. So that's step one. Step two, also a little strange, is I like to have a book, podcast, or music. So I choose that. And when I do this, I let myself listen to whatever my heart desires. So it can be like totally fluffy, useless, fiction books, or it can be in-depth, self-help style books, or nonfiction books, or podcasts, or music, or whatever. It's just whatever I want to listen to. That's what I get to listen to. And that helps the time go by really fast and actually helps me look forward to the process of cleaning, which is really important. All right, the next step after shoes and something good to listen to is I always start with the clean dishes. First, it will be putting away any of the drying dishes, then unloading the dishwasher if needed. That's the next step. Okay. Next up, we go to unload the dishwasher. All right, so I put all of the clean dishes away, the drying ones and the dishwasher ones. Next, we turn our attention to the dirty dishes. I will begin by loading up the dishwasher with everything that goes in the dishwasher that's right by it. Then I will walk around the kitchen and the dining room. We don't need anywhere else. So that's the only place that we have any kind of things that need to be washed. I'll put them in the dishwasher or set them to the side of the sink if needed. And then I will wash all of the dishes and get those all taken care of. I actually secretly kind of like washing the dishes, especially if I do it this way, so that everything I need to wash is in one place. And then I just get to listen to my audiobook or podcast kind of in peace while I just stand and wash all the dishes. So I think it's oddly one of my personal favorite parts. And also that is when I start to feel the transformation, because all the dishes are taken care of and everything after that also goes way, way faster. So after I get all of the dishes done, if needed, I go ahead and run the dishwasher. So I'm going to go ahead, get it started. And I just love the smell of like the clean dishes in the dishwasher. Oh, I forgot one. A little tip, when you run your dishwasher, you're supposed to turn on your hot water first to make sure that it gets started with that hot water, because at least in my kitchen, it takes a minute or two to heat up. So I'm running that now and then I'll hit start. All right, now is the part that I think it's a little bit harder. Dishes are completely taken care of. The next things that I do is I focus on just the kitchen and dining room, and we're going to clear everything off of the flat surfaces. I would also include the floor, although there is generally not stuff on the floor in my kitchen and dining room. Living room is a different story. So if you did have stuff on your floors, I would do that as well. Now the process for this is I get a laundry basket or a box, and if I pick up an item and I immediately know where to go to put it and I have the physical energy, I will go put it away. So like a food item, a utensil, something like that. But I have to know within like 2 seconds where the item goes. And if I don't, it goes into the laundry basket. That speeds it up, because you get yourself stuck so many times on like, well, I'm not really sure where this random item goes, and I don't know if I want to keep it, and that slows it down. But at the same time, if there's a pair of scissors, for example, that I'm looking at, and they go in the drawer right there, I may as well go ahead and put those away. So this speeds it up a lot, and we'll deal with the laundry basket at the end. Okay, so for the next step, I am going to work on tidying up the living area. So I always start at the same place, the couch itself, so we could sit down, and then anything that is on the rug, so that the idea is if I only get this far, I can sit down and not see a mess. Then I will go to the mess that's kind of along the edges behind the couch. So I suggest in your home, you kind of do the same thing. And I do the same thing as I did with everything else. If I know where it goes quickly, I will put it up. If it's going to take me longer, I will just simply put it in the laundry basket so that the whole process doesn't take too long. All right, we're ready for the final 2 steps. I ran my robot mop because the floor is pretty dirty. I would consider that step optional. Obviously, if you don't have a robot mop, you'll have to use an actual mop, and I only do that when the floor is pretty messy. And then the other optional step, which I did not do this time just because of time, because I actually came home from school, and so I got distracted, is I will empty out the laundry basket that I have. However, if I don't, I find that people come get things out of it, so this is all that's left. I left that, and now the space is really clean. I'll give you an after look. Again, it's not 100% perfect, but I'd say it's 95% there. We still have a Christmas tree and a ladder. So we have the entryway is clean. I always leave a blanket over there so that when we're on the couch, we have a blanket. Couch is clean. My daughter was working on putting together Valentine's. I'm going to let her leave those out for a day or two until we get the toppers on the bag so things don't fall out. That's totally fine with me as long as everything else is nice and tidy. We have the kitchen all cleaned up. Nothing, on the floor, nothing on the countertops for the most part. Like a snack that my son is currently eating, and a couple things of water, a towel. The table is all clean. So if you would like this checklist, be sure to click the link below and get a checklist for how you can do your own cleaning. And I will say I feel so much better now when I walk out. I don't feel so overwhelmed. It's not so hard to even prep a simple dinner, like make myself a sandwich is stressful if everything is a big mess. But now doing that is so much easier. So even if I'm not feeling well, I'm feeling so much better about the state of my home.